Thanks. Okay. Shoot. No, I messed up. Okay, we'll just re-go. Hello, I'm Josh Pomerleau, joined by Matt Healy, filming another episode of Teaming Up Show, where we are doing this because we want to help you build a team. And we want to show you what we've done because we have many years of experience of the hard knocks, and we don't want you to go through that.
Learning what worked for us and what didn't work for us.
Exactly. Yeah. And we get questions from agents all day long, and that's why we're creating this, because so many people have been saying they come to us and then we tell one agent, but we want to tell everyone so then they can quit coming to us. No, I was kidding. So Matt, what are some thoughts? Maybe what are 3 thoughts on buyer's agent compensation? Because we get that question a lot.
First
of all, we already talked about structure. Yep. And how we have a little bit of a hybrid structure. But what are some of the main thoughts on just buyer agent compensation?
So I think the first one that is, not very clear, maybe it is clear to a lot of people, is that, when you're hiring a buyer's agent, don't make it because you want to increase your profitability on your team.
I agree.
Hire a buyer's agent because you want to grow. And you want that buyer's agent to have a big income and a bigger opportunity. Yeah. We hear lots of agents saying, "Oh, I've lost this buyer's agent," or "I lost this buyer's agent. My lead buyer's agent went to another team." And Josh, maybe you can touch on this a little bit. But from a lack of opportunity, why do you think that is?
That's exactly. So I would say, what do they want their income to be? And I think so many. Just you touched on it. I think so many people make it the team leader, let's just call it the team leader. They make it about themselves. Mm-hmm. And what I've found, and it just came naturally to me, just because of how I think maybe growing up playing team sports, I don't know, where I didn't want to be the only one carrying the ball forward. I was a running back in high school. It was cool, but I wanted other people to do it too because it hurt a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
you want us to share the pain with you.
I want you to share the pain, but when you share the pain, you share in the upside, right? Yep. And so I thought of that day one is that we want the best people. We want to give them the most opportunity. I want to hear what they want to make, and then see how I can make that work in their world. I have conversations today where there's agents that have a team, and they say, "Hey, how can we join your team?" And I'm not saying someday that we hope that we could help them get to the next level by joining our team, or just organization. Sure. We'll just call it organization. But I think that's what it all comes down to, is how much value are you bringing?
Yeah.
How much value?
Well, I've heard from other agents too. So I pay him the 50-50 split to my lead buyer's agent, and they still left, or she still left, and the opportunity just wasn't big enough for him. So smart people are going to focus on income and not on splits.
Exactly.
If you pay someone 90, or you have a 90-10 split with somebody, and they're making $200,000 a year, do you care they're only taking 10% home? No.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're 10-90 or whatever the split is, and they're taking 25 home, do you think they care about the split? Yeah, much more so.
Exactly.
So focus on the income part of it more than the split.
For sure. And that's why we're not going to answer what split you should have your buyer's agents on, because it's going to all be around your value proposition. What happens if you're in a city where they're going to do 50 transactions and they're all at 1.5 million, and you're supplying all that, and at a 25% split, they're going to make 300,000.
Right.
So we can't give you exactly what the split should be. And of course, there's books out there that say, hey, you can't do more than 50-50. I would always watch out for paying out way too much or more, because you can get into places where you'll have to do a take back, or you'll have to, where you won't be able to afford it. The business won't be able to sustain. But that said, it's just like what we've done is we have a lead buyer's agent model where people come in usually at a lower split, and then they graduate as they learn more and more, and they're adding more value into the business. And we see even those same people, not only will they get better at handling business, but they also become more, they have more of a sphere, they have just so much more to add, and that's why their split goes up, right?
Yep.
And then after they've done, say, 50, 60, 70 transactions, then they're up here. But before that, it's hard because they bring a value to close the transaction, but they also take a lot of your time. So how do we pay for someone that's going to train them up?
Well, you got to look at the big picture, right? So as your team, what are you offering your buyer's agent or lead buyer's agent? Are you supplying all the leads and you're taking all the paperwork on them? All they have to do is convert leads and show homes. Is that truly it?
Right.
Maybe your split's different than if they're supplying all their own leads and they're just on your team because they don't want to deal with the paperwork. You have to look at each situation differently. And again, like with Josh's point, if you're at a $1.5 million a year or a transaction volume per transaction volume, or if you're at 100,000, things might be different there too.
Exactly. So again, like Matt said, how much are we taking off of their plate so that they can just be out there closing business? How much business are they getting? How much support are they getting? And I think all that factors in. And then I just think you come from a place of generosity. You want to see that person make as much money as possible. So, I mean, obviously it's self-serving because they're not going to want to leave, but also just it comes from a place where that you're truly a team.
Yep.
It's not just one person dictating things around. It's a team where everyone has something to add to that. And I think that's a lot more fun than just a hierarchy and saying this person pointing at people and doing certain things that way, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming to this episode of the Teaming Up Show, and it's been good to have Matt around. Matt's first few videos with us, me and Brian have been talking about listings and just database and all that, and now we got Matt talking about buyers, and we're excited to see where this goes. So
we'll see you on the next one.
Glad you could make it.